All right, in this explainer, we're going to uncork what might just be Italy's best kept secret. And no, we're not going to Tuscany or Sicily. Instead, we're heading way up to the northeastern corner to a place called Friuli-Venezia Giulia. And let me tell you, it's home to some of the most absolutely stunning white wines in the entire country.
So, let me ask you, when you think great Italian wine, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it those big, bold reds, maybe the sun-drenched vineyards of the islands? Go on, just picture it for a second.
I'm willing to bet you pictured one of the big guys, right? The rolling hills of Tuscany, the powerful reds of Piedmont. And hey, you're not wrong. Those places are famous for a very good reason.
But what if I told you that maybe the most exciting, most elegant, and just thrilling white wines in Italy are coming from a place that, honestly, most people have never even heard of? It is absolutely time we get to know Friuli.
So what's the big deal? What makes this place so special? Well, it all comes down to one word: terroir. That's just a fancy way of saying everything about the land, the soil, the climate, you name it. And in Friuli, wow, it's this incredible dramatic collision of two massive forces, the Alps and the Adriatic Sea. Really, the best way to picture Friuli is like a beautiful, complex mosaic. I mean, it's this amazing crossroads of Italian, Slavic, and even Germanic cultures. And you can see that diversity, you can taste it in everything from the climate to the soil. It's what makes for such an incredible range of wine styles. Okay, so first, let's look north. You've got the Julian Alps. Think of them like a giant bodyguard for the vineyards. Seriously, they stand there and block all these nasty, cold winds that try to sweep down from northern Europe. And then, coming up from the south, you get these warm, gentle breezes from the Adriatic Sea. It's like a natural thermostat, really. It keeps the temperatures just right. Not too hot, not too cold, so the grapes can just take their sweet time ripening to perfection. But the real secret weapon? It's literally right under your feet. It's the soil. They call it poncha there. And it's this unique, layered mix of marl and sandstone. Now here's the key. It doesn't hold on to a lot of water, so the vines have to work for it. They have to dig their roots way, way down to find nutrients. And that struggle, that's the magic. That's what gives these wines their signature, razor-sharp minerality and incredible elegance. So you've got this incredible stage, right? This perfect land. And now it's time to meet the stars of the show, the grapes themselves. And yeah, you'll find some names you recognize, but the real soul of Friuli, that's all about its native grapes. All right, let's meet the two headliners. First up, you've got Friulano. Think of it as the region's hero. It's super elegant, savory, and has this classic little note of bitter almond. Then you've got Ribolla Gela. This one's the vibrant, life-of-the-party grape. It's zesty, fresh, and has this almost electric acidity that it just dances on your tongue. And if you want to see just how diverse this region can be, you have to know about Picolet. This is a super rare, really precious grape that makes one of Italy's most prized dessert wines. It's so complex, so captivating, they actually call it a meditation wine. It's the kind of wine you just sip slowly and get lost in. Now, whites are definitely king here, but don't think Friuli is a one-trick pony. Not at all. When it comes to reds, you've got to meet Fosco del Peduncolo Rosso. It's a mouthful, I know, but it's this deep, kind of rustic wine that's just packed with dark fruit, spice, and these great earthy notes. Okay, now we need to talk about a grape I know you know, Pinot Grigio. But I want you to forget everything you think you know. Forget that simple, watery stuff you see everywhere. Because in Friuli, with that amazing terroir we talked about, Pinot Grigio becomes something else entirely. It becomes a serious, complex wine with incredible minerality, structure. I mean, you can even age it. But here's the thing, Friuli isn't just one big, uniform place. To really get it, you've got to see how these grapes act differently depending on exactly where they're grown. So let's take a quick tour of two really key zones. And just look at the difference here. Over in the hilly Callio region, you've got that special ponca soil we mentioned. That gives you wines with some serious backbone. They're structured, powerful, and built to age. But then you go just a little ways over to the flatter, gravelly plains of the Isonzo, and poof, everything changes. The wines are suddenly brighter, way more aromatic, super zesty. It's the perfect example of how the exact same grape can tell two completely different stories just based on where it calls home. Of course, a wine this good practically begs to be paired with food. And the food here? Wow. The local cuisine is just like the culture, a delicious mix of Italian, Austrian, and Slavic influences. It's pretty much the perfect match for the wines. And this is where the magic really happens. Just picture it. You've got that melt-in-your-mouth, salty, sweet prosciutto di San Daniele, and you pair it with a bright, aromatic Sauvignon Blanc from here. Or how about a frico, this amazing, rich, crispy cheese dish with that earthy refosco? And come on, fresh seafood risotto from the Adriatic with a glass of crisp ribolla gialla? That's what it's all about. It's just perfect. You know, this unique place didn't just pop up out of nowhere. You can literally taste the history in every bottle. It goes way back. The Romans were the first to plant vines here. Then the Venetian Republic came along and their trade routes helped spread the word. Later, the Austro-Hungarian Empire added another layer to that cultural mosaic, bringing their own grapes and methods. And all of that history led up to this huge quality revolution in the 1960s that really put them on the path to where they are today. So, what's next for Friuli? Well, one thing's for sure, this region is not sitting still. They're not just resting on their history. They're always looking forward, and they found this incredible balance between honoring tradition and pushing for innovation. The winemakers there today are really pushing the envelope. They're deeply committed to sustainability because they know they have to protect the land that makes it all possible. They're getting creative in the winery, finding new ways to get the absolute purest expression of that amazing terroir. And maybe most importantly, they are fighting for those rare native grapes, making sure these unique voices don't go silent. Honestly, it's becoming a true destination for anyone looking for a real, authentic wine experience. So all of this leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? When you look at its one-of-a-kind grapes, its incredibly diverse terroir, and its innovative spirit, you have to wonder, is Friuli just a hidden gem? Or could this region actually be the future of Italian white wine? It's definitely something to think about next time you're searching for a bottle that has a really great story to tell. Thanks for joining me for this one.